this time, another channel update. I don't know if you can see the t-shirt, but I've invested in some new t-shirts for my videos, and I actually mentioned this in my headhunter video, but I don't know whether the headhunter video will be up before this one, so I got bored last week and got a bit creative. Just thought that looked a bit better than what was there before, so hope you like the new decoration. I've got a couple other t-shirts like this. I've got one that says Sega on it, one that's got Dreamcast on it, and another one that I'm looking forward to showing off. This is just a quick channel update to say about a bunch of pickups that I received recently. Got a ton of stuff to show you. I may have already shown you one of these things before, but my memory is so shit that, you know, I apologise in advance. So, where do we start? I picked up a bunch more Sega Saturn games this week. They were all relatively cheap. Black Dawn on the Sega Saturn. I apologise if I've shown them before. I don't think I've shown any of them. I may have shown Black Dawn. I think maybe shown that one and a Macross game. This one, Wing Arms, which looks pretty good. Looks a bit like, I may have shown that. I can't remember. That arrived the other day. I know I haven't shown that one. Independence Day. Marvel Superheroes. I'm really looking forward to that. Tunnel B1. That's a strange looking game, but it looks pretty good. And I got the first Virtua Cop. Just the version that would have come with the gun. I've already got Virtua Cop 2. I got that while I was at Kart Club in Aldershot. So the other stuff that I got, I literally today picked up a bunch of stuff from a friend at work, and I will attempt to show you now. Right, so I gave him a tenner, and for that £10 I got a spare Dreamcast keyboard, spare Dreamcast mouse, spare Dreamcast wheel, and some fairly bad condition PlayStation 1 games. Gran Turismo, not very good copy, but never mind. Colin McRae, Tekken 3, I need to find a new case for that. And Simpsons Wrestling, that again is a bit beaten up. I'm not sure if they're going to work very well or not. They probably will. PlayStation 1 games were fairly robust. The other thing that I got was these two wonderful little games arrived. Layer Section 1 and Layer Section 2. Now, I can't remember off the top of my head what it's called, but I know that it goes by a different name in the arcade and a different name in America. It's something like Galactic Force or something, or Galactic something. Actually, while I'm talking to you guys, I might as well look it up. The other thing that I got, not sure if you just heard me say that, the other thing I just got recently was I had to buy a new capture device. The other one, the sound was just basically coming through atrociously. It was really bad. So I've had to invest in a new device. This one seems alright, but the only discrepancy is that it seems to only allow me to show it seems to only accept the picture of most of my consoles if I put it through my DVD player. The Dreamcast works straight away. I think the Saturn works straight away as well, but for some reason the TGX, all of the Mega Drive stuff, and maybe the Jaguar as well, they will not work unless I filter the picture through there. And so it is possible that the sound may sort of be a little tiny bit out of sync. But never mind, it's no big deal. So, yeah, that's pretty much everything I got this week. I'm not planning on getting anything else now. That is my lot, unless I see a really good Saturn game that I want. I think that'll be my lot. But I'm just really loving getting into the Saturn collection, because most of you know me as an absolute Dreamcast nut. But I was actually crazy about the Saturn before I got into the Dreamcast. But because I got the Saturn quite late, I never really considered myself a proper true blood Sega Saturn fanatic. Because I got the Saturn May 1998. and then I started getting all sorts of stuff for it, and then I found out how things worked. I found out that it's, you know, it was reaching the end of its life, and that the Dreamcast was coming. So I resolved to buy the Dreamcast straight away and support it 100%. And it's possible that I overkilled the Dreamcast in a sense that I've made it. I love the Dreamcast, and I always will, and it probably will always be my favourite console, simply because of games like Shenmue 2, Skies of Arcadia, Headhunter, Phantasy Star Online. But I've done all of those games, not to death, but I've done them a lot, and I know the Dreamcast catalogue pretty much inside and out. But the Saturn was my big love just before the Dreamcast, because it had Panzer Dragoon Saga, it had Burning Rangers, it had Deep Fear, it had Steep Slope Sliders, it had you know, Loaded. It had tons and tons of games on the Saturn, and I didn't really get into it at the time, and I really should have done. But there you go. So so yeah, so at the moment I'm really having a bit of a Saturn renaissance at the moment. So I'm just loving it. So if any of you can suggest any games out there for the Saturn that are good, that are worth buying from any region, let me know, and I might pick them up and feature them on my channel. There was one other game that I think Laird on Retro Video Gamer mentioned, called Chaos Control. I don't know if anyone's seen that. Looks like it should be a kind of flight sim style game, but because the perspective is that you're almost in a cockpit and that you shoot things as they come into the screen, but for some reason you use a light gun. It's a conversion of a CDI game, and apparently on the CDI it didn't have a light gun. So I'm not sure what happened there. I don't know. I mean, Laird reckons it's good for light gun, so I'm not one to argue. I mean, most light gun games you can use a controller with anyway, if you haven't got the light gun, I think. I could be wrong there. Correct me if I'm wrong. Anyway, I have a light gun. It looked quite good as just a normal controller game. By the way, the last thing I will say about the Saturn is, if you're going to get into the Saturn and you're going to do a lot of gaming on the Saturn, get rid of the shitty Saturn controller that's got a D-pad where the D-pad ends in a little circle. Get this controller. This is the bollocks. This is the dog's bollocks of Saturn controllers. I've got two of these bad boys. They're bloody wonderful. Probably my favourite controller outside of the 360 controller, the Xbox 360 controller. The only other thing that I got, which I'm not particularly keen or proud of, the only other thing that I got was, I was given a couple of games by my wife's friend for the GameCube. I'm probably never going to play them in my life, but at least, you know, it's a couple more games. We'll see what happens. Spyro, A Hero's Tale, and The Sims Busting Out. I don't know what the point of Sims Busting Out is. I don't know. I don't really play anything on the GameCube anymore. I just play them on the Wii, and I use the GameCube controller because I fucking hate the Wii Classic Remote Control, the Wii Classic Controller Pro, whatever it's called. Sorry. Yeah. So anyway, look out for me and my new T-shirts and my new games very soon. Hopefully the next new game that I haven't shown on my channel will be Headhunter, but it may also possibly be Titan Wars or Wipeout 2097 or one of the layer sections, because I'm definitely getting back into my Saturn with a vengeance, and I hope to share some of the brilliant stuff that I've got on it soon. That was what I was going to do. I was going to check the name of layer section. It won't take me a second. Ah, that's it. It's called Ray Force in the arcades, and in America it was called Galactic Attack. Yeah, the Classic Video Game Room guy, the Classic Video Game Room channel on YouTube, he reviewed Layer Section 1 and 2, but he was talking about it as if it was like, I don't know, a different game entirely. He was talking about it as if the American game was the proper game and the Japanese one was just some fucking stupid mistake or something. I don't know. The way he was talking about it was really weird, because obviously a lot of these games, they come out in Japan first and then they get ported to other regions. That tends to be the norm, especially for scrolling shooting games, shoot 'em ups, whatever you want to call them. So yeah, you can watch his video about layer section, but I wouldn't take the comments to heart about the fact that it's not in English, because at the end of the day, us hardcore Dreamcast fans have been buying shoot 'em ups aftermarket for the Dreamcast for 10 years, and none of them have ever been in English. Border Down, Chaos Field, Radurgi. I bought Zero Gunner 2. You know, there's shitloads of them. Ikaruga, Chaos Field, Shikigami no Shiro, Savario 2. None of them are in English. None of the story is in English, but when you play the game, the score, the controls, you know, the picture, everything that you need to worry about is in English, so they're really, really, really easy to pick up and play, even if you're getting them from Japan. I always recommend you buy shoot 'em up games for any console that you're on, even if they're imported from Japan. I use this to play my imports, in case you're interested, on the Saturn. I do not mod it. I do not own an international one. I own a PAL Saturn. It's down there. And I just stick that in. It takes a couple of tries when you turn the Saturn on for it to recognise that you've got that in, but eventually it works, and when it does, it works perfect. Anyway, enough of my rambling. Right, sorry, I forgot one thing. Like I said, my memory is shit, so I'm going to try and do this quick. But obviously, being at the Video Game Carnival triggered a lot of happy, fond memories and retro loving in general. So this arrived this week. I'm not sure if my American brethren will have seen one of these, but it's basically the first example of a kind of handheld video game, and I'll try and demonstrate it to you now. You can put batteries in it, but it requires C-class batteries, and I couldn't be bothered to spend the money. So I don't know if you can see what I'll try and do. So this is Astro Wars. So you've got, as soon as you turn it on, it says number 1 at the top, which means that's the speed, that's the difficulty setting. You press select, that's speed 2, speed 3, speed 4. So the point is to just shoot the enemy ships above, and they'll come down towards you as well. Now it can only keep a score of up to 10,000 or 9,999. Or you play until you get to the end, because I think it lets you play for a couple of attempts. The fire will only occur within certain intervals, you know, so there's no point pressing, but never mind. Anyway, yeah, so the story behind this is that we had one when we were kids. My dad brought one home. And yeah, I hadn't seen one for years. I hadn't heard it play for years, and it just kind of brought back loads of memories. So I kind of fancied buying one. So yes, cut back to where I say bye-bye. Look out for more video games, look out for more awesome piles of crap that I buy or find or pick up, and I shall see you soon. As always, rate, like, subscribe. It's all very, very much appreciated. Thank you very much. See you later.